Hey guys, what's up? I'm back here in São Paulo, and today I'm going to describe how I thought I was going to die in Ukraine. So I was just in a combat environment 9 days ago. I obviously wasn't a soldier in Ukraine, I was just reporting, but I thought I was going to die there. And there was 2 nights where I felt like that the most. When I first arrived, the first couple of days, there was a large amount of attacks by Russia. Then the 4th night, I believe it was the 4th night, April 15 to 16, the Russians hit the city with around 200 drones, around 8 missiles, and I'll just describe to you guys, right? So I'll put up some videos here of like the anti-aircraft being fired at the drones, and then the drones impacting, the missiles impacting. There was a lot of gunfire. The apartment I was in was shaking, and I wasn't scared yet. But when I saw the missiles impacting, and I saw drones flying past my apartment, like I was watching them, I started to think that I could die. And it became very strong when a drone exploded near me. I think it was 200 meters, possibly closer than that. I felt the shock wave. The shock wave is massive on these explosions, and I began to pack my bags up to run to the shelter, but the shelter is like 20 stories down, and you can't take the elevator during an attack, obviously, because the elevator can go all the way down. And so I was thinking, I could die right now. I'm gonna die without a girlfriend, without people with me. I'm alone here in Ukraine. I'm like, what am I doing here? Just trying to report on this stuff, and I actually could die right now. And it was a very scary experience. And I thought, would my family, would my friends forget about me? What about my history in Brazil? I miss Brazil. I'll never be there again. I'm gonna die. I'll never see my friends again, see the people that I like again. And it was humbling because death was right there. I saw people die that night. It was really rough. The drones were impacting apartments and ports, like civilian infrastructure. They were chasing people on the streets, man. I saw it in the distance. Obviously, I cannot show you guys everything. It's horrific. That night, I got really humbled by what people were willing to sacrifice to defend their country from this invasion. So I started to think I should go back to Brazil. I was scared to go back to Brazil because I have a history here, we'll say, and going back to Brazil brings a lot of memories. And that night, my life was flashing through my eyes. Things that happened 9 years ago, like my father passing away, felt like it happened yesterday. Things that happened 3 years ago felt like it was yesterday. I mean, everything was flashing past my eyes. And I have my dad here, guys. And I was thinking, we are just renting our bodies, because at any moment, a drone can impact the apartment and get me. And so around 4 a.m., I was standing near the window, and a drone comes and smashes the window and blows my right arm off. Then I wake up. I had like one of the most intense dreams of my life, for like a flashpoint, when I had like an adrenaline rush and it dumped. I think I fell asleep, I don't know where, and I had that intense dream. And in those moments I was realizing I'm alone here. No one's gonna save me. No one's here for me. I've gotten, so many threats from Russians for even talking about this, and I was getting a lot of hate comments, a lot of hate messages, and I was thinking, could they target me? Do they know where I am? Because they do target journalists and reporters in Russia, in Ukraine, by the Russians. And so I was thinking, I'm gonna die here alone. Okay, so let me go to the next night. The next time that happened. So I think I was being a little bit dramatic, but I wanted to report on the human safari going on in Kherson. So on May 13th, I decided to go into Kherson when I was in Mykolaiv. Mykolaiv is about 50 minutes away from Kherson, and so I went there with no permit, with nothing, then my GoPro, iPhone charger, a portable, and faith in God. that was it. And I had carbonara last night because I was like, my last meal, I wanted pizza, but the New York street pizza had carbonara. They didn't even have pizza left. And I was thinking, I'm gonna die without a girlfriend, without a fiance, without love. I was gonna die alone, probably in pieces from a drone in Kherson, which, by the way, journalists, they purposely targeted Kherson, so there's a massive chance of me being targeted when I was there. And I was thinking, well, I have to do it because I just have this feeling that I need to do this, so I'm gonna go do it. And I was like, well, this is one of the only times in my life where I could risk everything like this, because if I have a girlfriend, a really close family, then I probably not want to do this. But I was like, I feel like I have to do this for Ukrainians because the people I've met in Ukraine are so amazing. I need to, as a foreigner, expose what's going on in Kherson, the genocide which is going on. Hopefully it censored the word, but you know what I mean. So when I was in Kherson, I barely got through a permit, by the way. That's a whole story. You had to get a permit to go there. When I was in Kherson, I was attached to a humanitarian group. Humanitarian group had lost so many people. I forgot count of how many people they've lost, but it was a lot of volunteers that they lost. And they're just a humanitarian group. No weapons, just medical supplies, moving older people in and out of shelters. And they were being targeted by the Russians. And just like a couple of weeks ago, their van got exploded, and somehow the 3 people survived with immense amount of injuries. And so after they showed me the helmets, the damage on the helmets, they were like, yep, it's your time to go now, son. And I was like, oh, I'm going to the same thing. Okay, wow. And they're like, yeah, this drone blew up this woman's house and you're gonna go repair it. And I was like, great, okay, let's go. So I went, and here's a picture of the lady's house. There's like her cat was in the house somehow survived. Cat's just chilling.
Hello, kitty.
And here's like a photo shoot I did at the front line. That would be a great funeral picture, honestly. I look good, I think. If I pass away, I want a really good picture at my funeral. I want people to be like, we lost a baddie. We lost the baddest blonde on the planet. I want all the women to be like, damn, the world fumbled this one. You know what I mean? My ego is so crazy right now. I'm kidding. But no, I was actually very scared, guys. I'm joking, but I was very terrified. I was trying to smile and make jokes, but I was terrified. And hearing artillery in the background and hearing anti-aircraft fire, knowing I was at the front line, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I was not happy being there. Anyways, people were very cool there. Like, they were joking around and stuff. But a lot of them had their friends pass away in front of them, and they're just like joking around. I don't know what's wrong with Ukrainians. It's a good thing, but I want to be like that. Anyways, let me be on topic. So, I did my little photo shoot. And I was thinking, you know, what photo are they going to use in my funeral? Because I was like, maybe I should send my mom this one. Be like, hey, mom, use this one at my funeral. Because, again, I want to look good for my funeral. You know what I'm saying? I want to look good. And I was maybe like, hey, Russians, if you blow me up, can you just not get the face? Can you not get the face? I mean, if you get... Okay, I'm not going to go. And I have very dark humor, as you can tell. Anyways, I was very terrified. And so... I didn't have coffee that day. Oh wait, I did have coffee. So let me retrace some steps. Okay, let me retrace some steps. I did have coffee that day. Here's another photo shoot I did with a bunny inside the coffee shop. Cool bunny. And I was thinking, this is a great photo to be at a funeral, right? Oh, he's an animal lover. Damn, he's a baddie. He also loves bunnies and he loves animals. Damn, I hope you come back. You know, I hope you come up. Okay, sorry. Whew. I'm weird, right? Anyways, I was scared. And let me gather my thoughts. But the worst part of that day was that I had a college exam that was due that night. And knowing I would have to go from a war zone to go do my college exam was terrifying because guess what, guys? I needed a very good grade to pass that class. So your boy was stressing about college exams and Kyrgyzstan at the same time. The deadly duo, as they say. So I went out of Kyrgyzstan after this. I'm just gonna leave out a lot of details, and I had a massive adrenaline dump. You know what I saw after that? I saw the most beautiful sunset, and a little bit of tears may have come down the face. I was very happy to survive. And I was thinking, I have to go back to Brazil now because I love Brazil. And though I have very, sad history here, like I wish things didn't end in the ways they did when I was in Brazil. If you know, you know. Then I'm gonna have to face them. I'm just gonna have to face them again, And so I came back to Brazil, guys, and I come back here as a person strong in my belief in Christ, Jesus Christ. But I'm not homophobic, I'm not transphobic, I'm not any of these phobic people. I'm not gonna change my life too much being a Christian. I think just do what you think is right, and you're gonna make mistakes, and just keep on going in life. But anyways, the fact that I survived, nothing happened to my group, I'm very, very thankful of. I hope they're fine. I really hope everything is fine with them. But in reality, it's not fine. And Kyrgyzstan is hell, to be honest, guys. Maybe I can make a stronger video in the future, but the situation in Kyrgyzstan is particularly bad. And this guy, I think, had a lot to drink. Maybe he's doing the Michael Jackson wiggle wobble. I'm gonna try to take my phone. No, he's not. Okay, anyways, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. That was a very humbling experience. Kyrgyzstan is in a very bad situation, and if you want to donate to Kyrgyzstan, you want to donate to a humanitarian group down there, here's a donation link to one of the humanitarian groups down there. All right, love you guys. Have a good day.
O Brasil é diferente. Te amo, Brasil. Te amo.